After being charged and turning himself in, Jussie Smollett just went up and seen the judge and got his bail set. So this article from Variety magazine by Gene Mattis. Jussie Smollett's bail set out at $100,000, must surrender passport. Now is that one of those things where it's set like at 100 G's, but you only have to pay 10% of it or something like that? I don't know, but he had to also surrender his passport. So a Chicago judge set a $100,000 bond for Jussie Smollett on Thursday, and the Empire actor made his first court appearance. Smollett faces one felony count of filing a false police report. Police allege that Smollett staged a January 29th attack, telling police that he was accosted by two men who used racial and homophobic slurs. If convicted, he could face 1 to 3 years in prison, though he could also be sentenced to probation. Smollett could also be ordered to repay the cost of the Chicago Police Department investigation. Police allege that Smollett paid Abel and Ola Osandario $3,500 to carry out the attack, and Dummy used the check. What an idiot. Detectives were able to track down the two brothers using surveillance cameras and taxi and rideshare records. So, yeah, you got his bail set. It said bond, so I don't know if that thing kicks in where you have to, what is it, 10%? So he would really only have to pay like 10,000. He's got the money for it. But the only reference I have is when I got locked up for a year. And like when I first went to see the judge, I just kept like it was weird. You went to like a hearing, then 2 months later they would come tell you to come back for another hearing, then 2 months later for another hearing, and then eventually you got to plead. And then I was going to plead not guilty. My public defender had to talk me down. Originally, like the first deal they offered me was 5 years, and the last deal I got ended up doing a year. But that's only because I said no. But then they were like, give me that thing where, all right, you got to go to jail, but you don't got to turn yourself in right now. It was right. It was like the end of June, so they're like, turn yourself in July 6th, have the July 4th weekend. But with him, do I see jail time? Like I said, they're gonna want to make an example. I don't know if he's got any more info to give or anything like that. Anyone else involved? Not too sure about that. I wonder if since he hasn't been fired by Fox, so I wonder if he's still like if they'll offer him some legal representation, their lawyers, even though he hired a PR firm. And wow, I mean, see, that's the only reason why I question are more people involved. What if they just fire him? What PR? What could salvage this? Look, I'm pretty sure after he pleads guilty, we're gonna see a cringy on TV confession apologizing and somehow still blaming Trump. But I mean, his career's got to be done, right? No matter what, his career's gonna be done unless he can somehow argue that he was a pawn in a bigger game. But now I'm starting to doubt the wider conspiracy story about how dumb he acted. Because one would think, like, if it was a bigger conspiracy, there'd be enough voices going, so wait, you're going to pay these guys with a check? Yeah, I'm still tripping on it. He paid them with a check. Now I might be going in an even bigger conspiracy that maybe because he bungled this so bad. It's almost like it's a conspiracy how easy he was caught. Like maybe he just secretly got bought up by Trump, and Trump was like, "Hey Jesse, look, I like you on Empire. Make America great again. Come join us. You'll make up this ridiculous story. Don't worry, you won't go to jail, and you'll help me get reelected." Because like, how else could you have bungled this? I mean, and the two guys you hired, wouldn't you at least hire white guys so there could be like plausible deniability? Like, because right now he's in an unfortunate thing to where even if he wanted to be like, No, no, no. Those are the two guys who attacked me. He couldn't because he said it was a racist, homophobic attack, and they said this is MAGA country. And like, at least if he hired two white guys, he could say, "Well, I did say it was white guys," but even that, the phone records and everything else got him. So, $100,000 bond. Um, had to give up his passport, so he won't be traveling anywhere. Although this isn't, you don't really need to give up your passport. The most he's facing, like I said, he's afraid they'll make an example, so they could throw 3 years. But you don't give up your passport for a 3 year bid. Especially he's a gay dude. I mean, you should love it up in there. Jesus, I remember when I was in jail. I remember the gay dude Terrence. He loved it in there. But, yeah, so Jussie Smollett, $100,000 bail, and they give up his passport, and the saga will continue.